To make the 12-inch Blazing Star quilt block with no Y seams, start by sewing the blue strip to a green strip and a yellow strip to the other green strip. Press the stitches to set, and then press the seam toward the green strip on both strip sets. When pressing, keep the strip sets stable to prevent bowing. With the green strip down on the yellow and green strip set, align the 45-degree marking on the ruler with the bottom edge of the strip, and then cut from the bottom edge to the upper left corner of the strip set. Align the 1 3/4 inch line on your ruler along the cut edge of the strip set and cut. You will need 8 yellow and green units. Blue strip down on the blue and green strip set, align the 45-degree marking on the ruler with the bottom edge of the strip, and then cut from the bottom edge to the upper left corner of the strip set. Align the 1 3/4 inch line on your ruler along the cut edge of the strip set and cut. You will need 8 blue and green units. Altogether, you will need 8 diamond units. To create a diamond unit, pair a blue and green unit and a yellow and green unit so that the greens are stacked. Place the units right sides together. The seams should intersect at the 1/4 inch mark along the center of the seam. The green diamond tips will overhang the edges by about 1/4 inch. Pin where the seams intersect. Sew the units together using a 1/4 inch seam. A presser foot with an open toe will allow you to hold the seams together with a stiletto right up to the needle after you remove the pin. Press to set the stitches, and then press to one side. Trim the dog ears. To sew a quadrant, arrange a pair of diamond units with a 4-inch navy square. For the inset seam, mark a point 1/4 inch in from the corner on the interior green diamond where the inset seam will meet. Repeat on the other diamond unit. On the corner of the navy square, where the inset seam will meet, you want to mark 1/4 inch in on the wrong side. Lay the first diamond unit on the navy square, right sides together. Pin match the corner marks, and adjust alignment. The green diamond tip will overhang the edge of the navy square. Pin to secure. Beginning at the edges with the overhanging green tip, sew the units using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Sew until the needle lands in the mark. Take a single backstitch to secure. To add the second diamond unit, fold the first diamond unit out of the way and align the second diamond unit to the square, right sides together. Pin match the marks. Adjust alignment as needed. The green tip will overhang the edge. Sew the unit with a navy square on top, starting at the edge with the overhanging green tip. Sew using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, stopping at the mark and securing with a single backstitch. Now align the edges of the diamond units right sides together, folding the navy square out of the way. Pin match the marks. Using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, sew from the yellow diamond tips toward the marks, removing the pin and backstitching to secure. Check your seams and then open up the unit. Use the tip of the iron to nudge the seams of the diamond units open and press. Flip the unit as needed and press the navy square seams toward the diamond units. Press from the front as well. Repeat until you have all 4 quadrants. To create the inset triangles, cut a 6 1/4 inch square in half diagonally twice. Now get ready to sew your inset seams. Mark a point 1/4 inch in from the corner on both diamond units where the inset seam will meet. On the corner of the navy triangle where the inset seam will meet, mark in 1/4 inch. Lay the navy triangle on the diamond unit right sides together, pin matching the marks and aligning the edges. Using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, sew toward the center markings. Backstitch to secure. To sew the second quadrant to the inset triangle, fold the first quadrant out of the way, align the navy inset triangle to the diamonds right sides together, pin matching the marks and aligning the edges. Sew using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Backstitch to secure. To complete the inset seam, align the diamond unit edges, folding the navy inset triangle out of the way. Pin match the marks. Using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, sew from the yellow diamond tips toward the marks, removing the pin and backstitching to secure. Press the quadrants. Sew the remaining seams in the same manner. And there you have it, a 12-inch Blazing Star quilt block.